Hello and welcome to another video of the IT Career Guide YouTube channel. So in today's video I want to talk about Sccm, or Microsoft System Center Configuration Manager Suite. So Sccm is a major tool that companies use to really manage their infrastructure and end user devices. So be it laptops and servers. So Sccm puts a client onto a machine and then delivers analytical data back to the Sccm server and database. It allows you to push applications and patches to machines. It allows you to enforce certain compliance. You get troubleshooting tools with Sccm. So it's an important tool to manage large-scale environments. And becoming an Sccm administrator can be quite challenging because it is really a very complex product and you have to learn a lot and you need some experience. But there's also a caveat when it comes to Sccm. So with Sccm you would be very specialized, and you would be very specialized in a very small, narrow range within information technology. There's not really much on the first view, on a first look, where Sccm correlates with other areas of information technology. Yeah, tiny little bit information security, tiny little bit infrastructure. And then there's a lot of end user facing pieces. Of course, you have the Sccm infrastructure itself, so the database, the endpoints, and really the management portion of Sccm. But overall, it's a very narrow niche, very narrow range within information technology. And once you get in there, I don't want to say you're stuck with Sccm, but you have more difficulties breaking out into other areas of information technology. With Sccm, there's also an important part that you need to be aware of. So Sccm comes from the old Microsoft SMS server and then has moved into this more complex tool that is available today to manage the tools related to the end user management. You put it on servers. I mentioned patching is a big portion of it, but in a certain way, if you just look at Sccm and the on-prem footprint that it has, it's very limiting, and that's really where I see a concern for many of these Sccm administrators, because Sccm needs to grow, and Microsoft is already doing a lot of work on that side. And with growing, I mean it has to grow outside of the boundaries of an on-prem network and Active Directory environment. So if you look at Active Directory and then you look at Active Directory in the cloud, Azure Active Directory, and then you look at Azure style laptops, so laptops that are not domain Active Directory joined, they are Azure joined, and they live in the cloud. They do not need to reconnect to any system on the on-prem network. So these systems need to be managed as well. And Microsoft spun up a tool called Intune. And Intune is or was originally more like a downscaled patching solution and application deployment solution, but it has grown significantly. It now includes also mobile device management, and well, it is taking a big chunk out of the Sccm work itself. And if you look at Intune and Sccm, and yeah, the two belong together in the end. And you as an Sccm administrator, you need to be aware of the cloud environment around you and really take a closer look and not just stick to Sccm. So you need to look at, okay, how do I manage and control devices that live in the cloud that my Sccm server doesn't necessarily see? Microsoft rolled out the Cloud Management Gateway as a first step, but that is really just, I want to say, a hybrid where Microsoft really connected the two systems. There are still quite a few limitations, but from the overall perspective, the cloud is not going away. The cloud is growing, and that's really where you as an Sccm administrator need to be aware of that trend, and you need to make sure that you build and educate your career towards the same direction. Another limiting factor with SCCM is really that it's very end user facing. So there's like you can image machines from that infrastructure. And imaging in a certain way, I want to say, is the old school of putting an operating system onto an end user client. So ideally you want to move to something called provisioning, where you're really just pushing patches, applications, policies down to a system the way how it comes from the manufacturer. And of course you can upload your image to the manufacturer and it comes really pre-imaged in a certain way. But I mean, this is really, we're in 2021 at this point when I record the video, and it doesn't matter how Windows 10 looks like when it comes from Dell, HP, Lenovo, whatever the case may be. The tools exist to really strip out the consumer side, if you want to look at it this way, and push down the corporate side with policies, applications, and let's say custom backgrounds and lock screens and all that good stuff. So that's really where the role is shifting, and a lot of the work related to SCCM is almost help desk related. So systems imaging, and again I have to come back to that. That's something that the help desk does. You as the administrator, yeah, you maybe help with building that image, but again, you're limiting yourself. And so just be aware when you work with the configuration manager suite that it's a very narrow range in IT. Yes, there is a good money to be made, but there's also a ceiling how high you can go. The way where you grow with the configuration manager suite is just like, yeah, you go from a company with 500 users to a company with 50,000 users. You might make a little more money there, but the options that you have in other areas of information technology, they do not necessarily exist that easily compared to a role and career with SCCM. So I hope that gives you a little bit of an understanding with career planning and getting into a technology that is very narrow, very niche type of, that is a very niche type of technology like SCCM. And you have to really be aware of, okay, if I make that step, what is my next step after if I want to grow with my career? I mean, if you are happy with that and that's all you need, go for it. There's definitely a place for you in information technology as well. But for many people that want to grow their career and grow their salaries and take on more responsibilities, it's not necessarily the best tool to get into. So I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. It really helps me. And then I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.